UK traders to set up their own inspection points for EU goods to tackle the Brexit chaos. I'm going to read into this piece from the Financial Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Financial Times with the headline of UK traders have set up their own inspection points for EU goods to tackle the Brexit chaos. Businesses signed up to a trusted trader scheme to cut costs and ease the trade friction. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share us across social media so others are notified of this video. So we've talked about the issues on the Brexit border. The Dover border, as we know, that are the barriers that we have, the damage that is causing, the cost that it is to not have the inspections set up is not helping. However, at the same time, we also know that if the inspections and checks are implemented on our side, we know that it would lead to an increase in cost. We also know it means less goods would come in. It would also increase inflation in doing so. A lot of UK traders are taking matters into their own hands as a result of the damage caused by Brexit at this point, because many of them have just simply lost trust with governments. And I don't blame them for feeling the sense that they've lost trust with governments, in considering that how Brexit was handled, how much businesses were told in advance, how much knowledge they were given. They were not given enough notice whatsoever about changes, implementations. Too many times that Brexit issues have been kicking the can. The can has been literally kicked down the road by governments, and then now they're doing it by this Labour government. Although Labour will argue they're doing it, that they may say publicly, they may say privately, well, we've got doing this because it will hurt our economy, but it also means that it's hurting us in general. So, yeah, Brexit. It's just the Brexit chaos is just not going away, guys. It's just not. People think that you're just trying to stir things up. No, this is the Financial Times, guys. This is they're not a BSer, guys. But let's read into this story about this UK trader setting up their own inspection point here. So at Provender, Whole Point, a plant nursery in Swanley, Kent, employees are unloading the first lorry of goods into a newly fitted large biosecurity barn established to carry out checks on products arriving from Europe. Dysfunction in the post-Brexit border system is prompting a growing number of UK plant and food traders to set up their own control points where product can be inspected as an alternative to state-run facilities. So it seems, the government can't get a grip on this. The move is an attempt to lower costs and reduce friction in trade with the EU, while sidestepping the delays that have besieged the government's run inspection point in nearby Sevington. Yeah, that Sevington site's been an absolute bloody nightmare. The way it's going, we're losing all control, says Stuart Tickner, head of the nursery and biosecurity at Provender. By becoming a control point, we bring some of that aspect of control back to us, Tickner added. Issues at the Sevington site, problems with the border's IT systems, and a slow rollout of promised trusted trader programs have piled pressure on businesses on both sides of the border, leading some suppliers to give up on export into the UK altogether. Yeah, and I don't blame them for doing that. The Trusted Trader Program, also known as the Authorised Operator status, was designed to test the possibility of allowing regulator imports to carry out checks at their own sites rather than at a border control post. So he is doing his own checks there. The new post-Brexit border checks on food and plant imports from the EU were introduced in April by the previous Conservative government after several delays. Provender said it hoped to reduce the cost of its customers by establishing its own control point and cutting the common user charge to CUC, which companies say is hammering the sector. However, building it was high-risk strategy, given confusion over the timing of the government's border implementation plan. Yeah, this is the problem. Because the government kept chopping and changing about things, they kept delaying things or kicking cans down the road. They were not being clear on things, the Conservatives, and it was not helpful. And Labour are just doing the same thing. It's not helping. But at the same time, it's also understandable why they're trying to hold on to it. We do know that the Labour government are looking for at least a veterinary agreement with the EU. We do know that that is something that they're trying to get in talks with. Until a trusted trader scheme is fully implemented, the nursery must use government inspectors to carry out physical checks on arriving goods. The industry has long argued that traders should be allowed to carry out their own inspections because many already have the expenditures needed to meet specifications on fruit, vegetables, and plants. Nigel Jenny, chief executive of the Fresh Produce Consultants, said traders were being forced to pay millions in charges despite the industry having the infrastructure and personnel needed to carry out controls. They should have used the industry's facilities and expenditures that problem that already existed that would have really shared it, he said. It's a problem of their own making. Segovia, a refrigerated food logistic company, was the first group to enroll in the pilot scheme and set up a designated inspection point. Mike Parr, the chief executive of the MPL Seafrago UK and Ireland, said the scheme was crucial to ensuring the flow of food into the UK. But a decision on whether it takes beyond the pilot stage has been pushed down the road since the idea was first tabled 3 years ago, he noted. Businesses like Seafrago has invested hundreds of thousands of pounds in building capacity of their own premise, but cannot get enough trade coming enough to recoup those costs because the government does not provide enough inspectors. Those who come are unavailable overnight. The only way that brings fruit and vegetable to UK is going. It's the only way that's going to bring fruit and vegetable into UK is going to work. Sevington is too expensive and too slow, Parr says. Adding he already heard regulatory that haulers were offered no facilities at the site. If they come to us, we have everything in place for them. Currently, 12 consignments of plants are being held up at Sevington, many of which have been there for over a week, according to 3 people familiar with the situation. No one in the supply chain was informed of the reasons by the delays, according to the Horticultural Trade Association. By the time they were told the issue stems from an outbreak of pests in Italy, more shipments had arrived. They have made it clear delays like this with no communication are completely unacceptable. They must ensure that the industry has delayed and timely communications in the future, the trade group says. Oh my God, communication is a common sense theme. If you don't have communication, what is the point? You have to have communication. Got to have communication with these businesses that you are doing these checks with. Like, it's just not. It is not that. It's not that hard to have the communication, but my God, it's just not found the businesses. Drivers don't want to come to the UK anymore. They've had enough, said one customer's agent who asked not to be named, describing inhumane conditions for drivers at Sevington who have to wait for hours in a small room, only provided with a bottle of water while their goods await inspection. Some of the industry are pinning their hopes on a government agreeing a veterinary deal with Brussels that could reduce or remove the need for inspections and paperwork on most plants and animal exports. A deal could take years to agree and implement. However, in the meantime, the UK's reputation and trading partner has been damaged, the sector has warned. Margot Folling, a Director General at the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade, said the group had heard from many businesses in the EU who were prepared to stop trading with the UK because of the increase in cost and uncertainty. The true cost of the BTOM, that's Border Target Operation Module, for traders is only just beginning to materialise and will impact the cost of living over the winter months, with price increases being passed on to the consumer, he had said, adding that the government should further assess the feasibilities of the trusted trader pilot. While moving controls away from the border to the premise of a trusted trader could cut waiting times and improve biosecurity, it would not fix the fundamental flaws in the border system, traders said. This includes a lack of communication from the government on why some goods are flagged for checks and others are not. There could be delays, but at least as the plants will be an environment where they're cared for, said Richard McKenna, Provender Managing Director. The government says it is committed to reducing barriers to trade and cutting red tape by striking a fair balance between business and biosecurity. We are piloting a trust trader approach. The authorised operator status and full implementation will depend on the outcome of this pilot. This is what it's come to. Businesses having to do things themselves, taking matters into their own hands, paying enough of their own costs to do so because the state can't manage it. And the state generally cannot manage it. We just don't have enough bodies. We just don't have enough people. We just don't have the infrastructure to set up, what we need to deal with these inspections. That's the reality. That is the truth. But it's not right that private that businesses should have to do it, pay it in themselves either as well. In order for them just to get the goods in. It's just not right, guys. It's not. It's extremely frustrating. And my heart goes out to these businesses and EU businesses that want to trade with Europe, with the UK, and can't trade or have given up on trading because of the barriers that we have put in ourselves as a result of Brexit. But sovereignty, right? What do you guys think? What do you guys make of the situation here about UK traders setting up their own inspection points? Can you understand the frustration they're going through? Can you understand EU businesses giving up on the frustration, giving up on trading with the UK altogether? Let me know your thoughts and more on all this down in the comment section below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further and support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.